Yeah, I just wanted to show you what I was up to here. I've been trying to work on this, but it's like every day I got to do something, so I skipped out of work today, and that'll be between just you and me. But I made this box. I didn't want to have to buy anything, and so I just used some old scrap stuff, and I got plates that go on the side, and that's how I'm thinking about mounting the screen back there. So I put some alligator clips on this so I could fire it up, see what it kind of looks like. And I got the switch, the potentiometer wired into the one leg of the unit, and it rotates back here. This is the piece that goes to the center that rotates the unit, so I could read what's on the screen. And I hooked this up earlier. I tried it out and it didn't work. And I had the diagram from before. I'll fix that up a little bit. But yeah, I thought that the wire on the outside of the screen is supposed to go to A4, and somehow I hooked it onto A5 and it didn't work. So, I mean, I sat there and I looked at it and I could have sworn that, it was right, but it was obviously wrong. And I've done that before. I've looked at drawings and you'd swear that, you made it to the drawing, but come to find out that, it was different than what you thought, even though you looked at it several times and kept thinking, yeah, it's right, but it wasn't. So anyway, what I did was I kind of color coded these wires. So I had the white as the 5 volt, the black, the brown, the red, and the yellow, so I wouldn't get them mixed up, and I ended up getting them mixed up anyway. This brown one I had hooked to the red, and the red one I had hooked to the brown, so I had to switch them, and now it works. In fact, I went in, I reloaded the program into the Uno, thinking that maybe it dropped the program, but I guess it didn't. I just had the wires hooked up wrong, and I got a power supply over here. And that was something that on this paper, before when I made this, I had the cable that went into the computer as the power supply. And when I'm wiring this up, I'm thinking, well, where's the power coming from? It's not coming from the 5 volts. So then I remembered that I had it hooked up with that cord. So I have to modify this because you have to have a power source. So now I got this power supply I'm using here. It's 5 volts, and you're supposed to have between 7 and 12 volts going into this guy. And I ordered some of those wall adapters, 7 volt, and I'm waiting for those to come in. So I cranked this thing up. It only went up to 6 volts, and I thought, well, maybe that could work, because originally I thought I was going to use 5 volts because I had 5 volts written here, but that's the 5 volts coming out of the unit. It didn't dawn on me until I was wiring this up. I needed voltage going in from either the plug-in over here, or if the the VIN. So anyway, I plugged it in to the VIN. So the adapters I ordered are 7 volts. So I'm going to use them, but I'm using this right now. But I'm going to put a cap over this. But when I rotate this, that's hooked into the potentiometer. The end of the potentiometer goes into that shaft, and I lock it down with a set screw. The same. I'm using this hole as an access for the set screw and to route these wires out. I got a little thing in the back. I don't want to move it now, but that's where the fan's going to go. I'm going to mount a fan back there, and this slot up here, I use this. This is from the spin indexer, the one I didn't use. So I'm going to mount this up here so I can get the reading off the rotation, and then I get the reading off the angle in one setup. And that was already, I had that in my box of parts, and I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and adapt it on the front of there, make it work. But as far as the rotation, I'm going to have to build something so I could rotate that table. I really don't want to build another box like I did last time. That was a lot of work. I'm going to try to do something a little different this time. But let me plug this in so I can show you how it's working here. I wanted to check it, before I put it in the box. Make sure it worked. And like I said, I had these 2 wires crossed, and it's a good thing I checked it. I don't know. I mean, I got it marked here, but yet I'd still crossed them. So anyway, it's fixed now. So I'm going to plug it in. There's no on-off switch on this. I might have to do that. I got I'm using the power supply to hold the back end of this up, and this little square block holding the front end of this up. But anyway, we got power there, and got a little reading on the screen. So when I rotate this shaft that's going to be mounted to the unit, that'll rotate. I think I'm picking up these wires here. That's why it's not focusing. That looks worse. But anyway, I think that looks pretty nice. I like that. So that's like I said, that's this axle right here, mounted through there. And I put a little adjustment on here there's a screw in there, and I can loosen that, and I can rotate this just a little bit to get it just right. Because you can't, I mean, the only way to adjust it is you have to go in there and loosen the set screw and then rotate the shaft and rotate this and that. And, I wanted something a little easier. So I can loosen this screw and I can rotate this to zero it. So that's kind of the direction we're going. All right. I'll work on it some more.